So as we all kind of come together here, I want to share a little story, and if you'll go ahead and take a seat. For many of you, you're aware that I'm on the board and have worked with World Council very closely. In 2017, we did a project engagement where we went to Ukraine, and we traveled, and we had an opportunity to meet the people. We had an opportunity to see their hard work in rebuilding a credit union system. And for those of you that have never done a project engagement out in the field in another country, I would implore all of you to take advantage of that. Then we were all at GAC in February. We talked about Maslow's. We talked about everything that's taking place. And something happened while we were there. Russia invaded Ukraine. And I was sitting in my hotel room, and I looked out the window, and you know that the underground is at Hay Adams, which overlooks the White House. And we saw people gathering, and people protesting, and people coming in with their flags. And I grabbed Zach, and I said, let's go down. Let's go be part of this. And at that moment, I realized that we are a global community. We are people helping people around the world. So when we came back from DC, my grandson was working on his junior achievement project. And I said, will you create a video about what's going on in Ukraine? And I want to take a minute and show you this 2-minute, or I think 1-minute video. So if you can look at the cameras for a second. So we were talking earlier about generational commitment, and someone asked me, why do you do what you do? Because I have to. And we reached out, and we, a group with Brian Branch and others that Rafal will now tell you, we reached out and we said, we've got 3.5 million people that are refugees that are leaving Ukraine, and they're going into Poland. And we have a strong credit union system in Poland. Can credit unions help credit unions directly? And Rafal said yes. All right? And so I've asked him to come, and Connecta was kind enough to help support him being here. And he's going to talk about a couple of things. One, what is going on today, because we have a tendency to have war fatigue or fatigue over whatever the news is. So we want to know what's going on today. And we also want to know what the Polish credit unions are doing for the Ukrainian refugees, which primarily are women and children, all right, within Poland, all right, because of our American help. So, Rafal, will you tell us?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation for this great conference. I'm very glad that I can share with you some information from almost from the front line. It's not easy to talk about the situation in Ukraine. I came from Poland to tell you a story, a dramatical story, but at the end with an optimistic idea. Let me start from political and military situation. 240 days of war in Ukraine. Massive destruction and drama of the entire nation. Over 7 million refugees arrived to Poland, but the flow of refugees across the border goes both ways and depends on the war situation. The Polish government has created very good conditions for staying in Poland, opportunity to work, go to school, healthcare, and free public transport, and much more. There are no refugee camps in Poland. They stay in Polish homes, training and recreation centers, and in houses and flats they rent. In view of the defeats at the front, Russia is threatening again and again with the use of nuclear or chemical weapons. He is constantly trying to destroy the nuclear power plant in Zaporozhye to lead to radioactive contamination, almost for the whole country, maybe for the whole region. 2 weeks ago, an agreement was reached between dictators from Russia and Belarus. Under this agreement, the Belarusian troops were handed over the Putin's orders. Currently, more units of the Russian army are moving to the territory of Belarus and joining Lukashenko's troops. There is concern that these forces will attack Ukraine again from the north. Of course, there is also a fear that they will be directed to the Baltic countries and to my country, Poland. In Poland, we are not waiting with folded arms for these bastards from Russia. We have a stronger and stronger army thanks to the purchases of military equipment in the United States, Great Britain, and South Korea. We are also part of the NATO alliance, and over 10,000 American soldiers are stationed in Poland. Thank you for that, America. Let me say a little bit about establishing of the Via Stella Foundation. Russia renewed its attack on Ukraine on February 24. Already in March this year, 2 wonderful people, Brian Branch and Bruce Falk, came to Poland to see the situation caused by the war in Ukraine and the situation of refugees in Poland. They did so in order to launch a great initiative to create a foundation that in cooperation with National Association and Polish credit unions, will help Ukrainian citizens in the best possible way using funds from the United States and other countries. The foundation was named Via Stella, named by Brian Bretsch, and is now operating at full scale. Detailed information is available on its website. The foundation is supported by National Association employees for charity, and its management board is me and my colleague from the management board, Małgorzata Gac. I also donated our foundation, and this money is to cover petty, very low administrative costs, less than $100 to date. This model ensures that all funds paid to the foundation by donors are not charged with any costs. We allocate 100% to aid. How we help? As part of the foundation, we run several main programs. Refugees who rent flats in Poland can count on our support. We offer support to everyone who joins the program in the amount of about $2,000 paid in equal installments over a period of 6 months. The condition is to open an account in credit union, to which we transfer money for support every month. The second program is the purchase of ambulances for Ukraine, because some of the funds from the United States were allocated to such a specific purpose. We check and buy ambulances, working with paramedics to ensure that right quality equipment. In addition, we buy specialized equipment for these ambulances, and recently also food and, for example, diapers. So far, we have acquired 5 ambulances. 2 of them are already in Ukraine. The third will be delivered to the Children's Hospital in Lviv next week. We are going there with Bruce and Brian. 2 more will go to Ukraine in the next 2 or 3 weeks. The third program, which is in the phase of preparing medical facilities, is health prophylaxis for women from Ukraine who stay in Poland. Preventive and screening tests, as well as emergency care, are our goals. The assistance is provided by facilities and doctors associated with Polish credit unions. The most important of the remaining program in progress: purchase of school kits for refugee children who go to Polish schools, purchase of food for 6 months for the center with 93 orphans from Ukraine, assistance in the purchase of agricultural machinery in cooperation with CAP project, in which World Council of Credit Unions and USAID are also involved. Over a dozen transports of food, clothing, medicaments, as well as sleeping bags, binoculars, or batteries. I am here as a living and eyewitness to this project and its active participant. I am here to ask for your further support because the needs are huge. The scale of the destruction is unimaginable, and the reconstruction of Ukraine and thus the refugees stay in Poland will last a long time. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you, Kinecta Credit Union. Thank you, Steven, and your credit union, to making it possible for me to come here and submit this information directly to you. I brought with me leaflets with a QR code for our website. In the digital age, these brochures may look a bit old school, but they carry an important message. Thank you. Thank you for the help and support for my country. Thank you for the help and support my country is experiencing from the American people. Without you, this project would not exist. We are all part of the great family of credit unions, and what we are talking about now is perhaps the most beautiful embodiment of the principle people helping people. Thank you for your attention.
Wow. So we go from this to the fact that, Bill Cheney's here, Stephen's here, I'm here. We represent and are part of the Worldwide Foundation. We believe in credit unions. This foundation was set up by Poland to work directly within Poland for the Ukrainian refugees that have now moved there. And when he talked about, or escaped there, when he talked about the numbers, Poland has a total population of 36 million?
38.
38 million, and they've had a 10% or more increase in the number of people right in their country. So, the children from Ukraine got together and they sent pictures, and they gave those pictures to Bruce and to Brian and to Rafal to bring to us. And they sent them in a package to me. And for those of you that were on our original broadcast, that was just a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks within the invasion when we broadcast back to you. But this particular one I wanted to tell you about. This is from the kids. The bottom is from the kids, all right, in Ukraine. The top one is from Ms. Tibbs' class, kindergartners in Boulder City. She brought them together last week, and she said, as you go out to think about Halloween and celebration and candy and all the joy of the holidays, I want you to also think about children of the world and draw some pictures. And they did. So when you go for your first cocktail, all right, and we enjoy ourselves, in that room back there is a display of all of the kids' pictures. And if you want to bid, please do. There's no pressure here. He did come all the way from Poland. Okay. So I just want you to know the underground is about tackling stuff. And it's not always politically correct, all right? But neither is life. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and the system in Poland is strong. And this is the first time they've ever set up a foundation. and it's specifically being used for the kids. So, thank you, Rafal, before we make our final comments here, but we appreciate you being here very much, okay? Thank you.